welcome to tonight's episode of Call Us Skeptical. How I Found God.
Skeptic and Ranting, that is. Skeptic and Ranting.
Did I not say skeptic? I'll tell you, I don't have...
Holen, but it's okay.
Oh, did I say... Oh, we're on our call-in. That's why... Hold on, people.
Sorry, guys. She's been working like 60 hours a week, so she's a little frazzled, but it's all right.
Indeed. But hopefully...
We'll give her a break.
But hopefully... I'm going to modify that. We're coming back on more. Anyway, we are Skeptic and Ranting. We are talking about how I found God, where we are talking, in fact, about Oli London. So won't you, and his EWTN interview, so won't you join James W. and myself, Amy Newman, for a good time worth finding a Jesus or two. Maybe two. Woohoo! What is up, and welcome to tonight's episode of Skeptic and Ranting. How I Found God. Not a call-in show. We'll have an open mic. Woo! As well as
Are
really...
you familiar with EWTN, Amy?
I am not.
So that is Eternal World Television Network. It's a channel just devoted to Roman Catholic programming. So
really,
if you ever need to, like, you're not able to sleep or whatever, you can turn that on and just they'll replay like a Catholic mass or nuns praying the rosary, and it'll knock you out in 5 minutes or less.
Very specifically, and that's why we have our title card up. Yeah, he seems to have converted to Catholicism. I guess even before we do the like, follow, subscribe, and all that crap, like, well, the stuff we love. We love you. Mwah.
It's like a deranged version of Sinead O'Connor when she used to wear the Catholic, the priest garb.
Yeah, and he does the kind of sexy walk in it. But I just don't get what is with all the I find God, and now I have to go back into a closet. Like, it is very interesting because I get a lot of crap because, my two prongs of opposition to LGBTQ are religious, in the closet, or both. And let me tell you, the both category, very popular, like chocolate and vanilla. Just put sprinkles.
Low IQ, as some might say. Low IQ.
It is also weird in that this guy just seemed to have very radical views, and then to go from just radical views to another radical view doesn't seem to be a solid epistemology. But, found Jesus, and now you have a personal relationship in the sky. I'm sorry, it's not a sky daddy. It is a heavenly father. Can I get on my knees?
Very important distinction between the two.
Exactly. Very specifically, when you're on your knees, you need to give him the correct title. I'm not even sure if we're making jokes anymore, because we're saying it with a joking overtone, but they really believe this. Anyway, sending so much love to everyone out there. You can, in fact, it does help us. Hit that like button, whoop-a-doop, and it tells the algorithm, hey, this is okay to send out there to more people. And then follow on the Twitch. I think the Twitch is actually growing pretty well too. We have 115. Woo!
Hey.
I'm sending that into the YouTubes, but I think I'm going
to
start
the Twitch sphere any day now, right?
Indeed. You know what? I oddly am getting a following in, which I may have to. I am just passively getting TikTok followers for the 2 videos that I've done. I did 2 videos probably 6 months to a year ago. I need to do more. And if I have 250 followers or whatever they're called on TikTok right now. And if I could just get
Talkers.
Talkers, exactly. That sounds like a brand of chips. Just get your Talkers. Unless like a Chinese
Like a redneck kind of beer, like an alternative to Bud Light, drink Talkers.
Is that finally over yet?
Even 30% less taste than the original Bud Light.
Oh, I mean, that to me is just what light beer is. Like, I'll drink a beer if it has like a flavor, because then you've made it, you know, a little bit more fruity, a little bit up to my taste. What's my TikTok? That's a good question. What is my TikTok? I am asking my marketing people right now to bring it up. Hold on. My goodness.
Is that under your old corset account?
No, it's not. I will say that if anyone wants a good time, though, I guess, you can just look up corset. Oh, no. Oh, God, it's screaming at me. This is what I dislike about TikTok, and it's what makes me feel old, is that I'm used to YouTube where I'm just slowing down. Hey, Steph's in this one, and Maya's in this one.
What's that?
Okay, but Amy Newman TikTok. Wow, that was a lot of effort for something that I probably should have remembered very easily. But yes, that is it, and there's 2 videos. Woo! But hey, that's almost like not too far away than I thought for 1,000. I just gave up on the 1,000 because I was like, well, that's never going to happen.
What are we at?
214.
Oh, okay. Hey, we're 21% of the way there.
That's right. So, and once you get 1,000, you can live stream on TikTok endlessly. That's the weird thing. 2 formats on TikTok. Short videos that they're now trying to make bigger. I just saw this in their thing. I was going through there, which is like, what? Why are you? This is what they all do. They all want to be the other thing, which makes no sense. And then they destroy their thing, and then they go away. What are we talking about? Sending love to X. We're streaming on X. That's what I'm not talking about at all. And someone send love on Facebook. Sending love. But yes, you can like, follow, subscribe. I just misfired. That was the video pipeline one, I think. Look, they come and go. Wasn't there, what was it before Zoom? Skype. We were all doing the Skype. Not no more. But sending also love, you can subscribe. And then once you subscribe, well, if you want to actually get content, you can do so by hitting that bell icon to all, which will send you reminders to see our premieres or join our live streams. Because if you're wondering to yourself, hey, I subscribed to this channel, and yet it's never in my feed, that's probably why.
Makes sense.
I'm trying to think of like another joke, but there's just that's probably it. But yes, the subscribe, the channel members, woo! Sending love to our channel members as we have our lovely emojis out there. Listen, a book said a thing. I don't know if you knew this, James, but a book did say a thing.
We have confirmed that.
With our evolving badge system, which just evolves using time. Wow. They tell us, they as in young earth creationists, that we worship time. just seems to move forward. Though, I'm a fan of nonlinear editing if you want to defy time.
Well, what about non-linear time to begin with? That's even freakier.
Once again, much easier to go forward, much harder to go back. But who knows? Maybe it's out there. Right. We can say hi to everybody. If you like, the follow, the subscribe, the bell icon, all of the fancy shilling thingies that I say, we get to say hi to you. Oh, I forgot to say to the Patreon. But that's okay. I'm going to say hi to everyone and because I already said it. So I am committed. Doorknob Head, what is up? Dogsy. God equals the square root of -1. And Church of Robot. And Ian Davenport. And Sumami. And woohoo. Doorknob Head. Zokalox. Clout. Ayub. Udif. And if I missed you, keep talking, Flum, and I'll say your name because I love you all. Pretty colors. And also the best way to support the channel is by checking out our Patreon by heading out to patreon.com/AmyNewman. It's on there. We just did our first Patreon-a-thon. We'll probably do a second, and we also have our AMA coming up and a whole bunch more fun. Because I think I'm finally we'll get Peters up and running. Debate with
Martine.
With Martine. I was looking it up in Discord, but that's where my brain is. Thank you. Sending love out to you, Martine and Peter. And yeah, we'll do quick shout outs because this is a quick time. And then we're going to go into the opposition viewpoint because this guy
Short video, but it is a lot of bullshit packed into it. Really.
Yes.
I mean, for like 5-6 minute video, they really packed the maximum amount of bullshit into
and
it.
It's the typical story that they're looking for. He was something. I don't know what, because we'll get into the transracial thing, which I think is offensive. You can't. See, here's the thing. Some people think when I say race isn't a thing or it doesn't biologically exist, they think I maybe would applaud people like this. No, he's on the exact opposite spectrum. This guy is saying race exists and I can transfer it to another.
I don't think anybody really believes that. I think it's purely just out of spite and trolling and like, oh, well, if the trannies can change their gender just because they want to, why can't I change my race?
But if so, this guy was committed. He did surgeries. He moved to South Korea and tried to teach English. And then, of course, spoiler alert, found God. And not only doesn't do any of that, but is against being transgender.
Well, I mean, Amy, Jesus talked to his heart and told him how sad it makes him when he sees him wearing girl clothes and acting like a girl. And Jesus made him to be a man, and that's all Jesus wants him to do. He doesn't have to do anything else to be loved by Jesus. Just be himself.
Yes. And very specifically, also love the Catholic God. Those two very specific things. It's a little odd.
Right. You probably should. Otherwise, he will kill you and do really mean things to you after you're dead. So you probably should just love him and worship him.
Exactly. When he's holding up, trying to find my bat. When you're holding a bat up to someone's head, that's when it's true love.
Yeah, out of free will, not coercion or anything like that.
Exactly. Not holding a gun up to their head. What's up, blessed be he? I did not find God, but this person apparently did. And so they are now, well, at least, let me tell you, the fact that they gave up being the transracial thing, I'm glad. The fact that they joined a cult Holy moly. And now they're against being transgenders. Transgenders were against him even before, because that stuff, there's no sociological, anthropological, psychological. I was about to say psychological, but like, there's nothing I can think of that is supported within the medical community, because the medical community supports that race does not biologically exist, that you have an ethnicity, you came from somewhere on the map with a history and a family, and they had cultures and stuff, but we're all humans, we're all apes, whether that pisses the creationists off or not.
You may be an ape. I'm not an ape.
Yeah. Oh, and they love saying that. Oh, you may be, not me.
Maybe you're related to a strawberry or an amoeba, but I'm not.
And you act like it too. Like, okay. Generally, all the things that they also don't point out that they are brilliant other animals. The only reason the stuff that they make fun of a lot of times is like isolation, and a lot of times that stuff humans do too. But yes, Umami, it is Oli. It is that guy. I'll say guy because I don't know
the name of
he was there.
The person in the video.
Yes.
Oh boy.
His kingdom, I within. You knew it all along. That sounds like sexy lyrics, but I don't think that was what you were going for.
Dharmakan Shala, that Tanagra.
But yes, we're going to just send out so much love. Sending love to our Patreons, channel members, and supporters. Thank you so very much, davegar, reminding us that the world is indeed round, thick, and 4.5 billion years old. As if we had to say this. Sending love to Rachel Holen. Woo, she's amazing. Thank you, Rachel, reminding us that we're trying to get rid of biblical slavery. It is kind of evil. That's the word, evil. But if you're, going out to a BDSM club, go get yourself a femboy. Good. It's a good thing to do. Or whatever you're into. Don't let us, kink shame nobody. Sending love.
I'm sure, blessed be if they do time you out, that it was warranted.
Half the time, I swear, they get timed out for just insulting the mods, and then they come crying to me, and they're like, "Your mods are so mean." It's like, you sure you didn't just say a bunch of homophobic things to Titan? But sure, yeah, right. We're all, well, not God's children, but they all think that, ladies and gentlemen, being mean on the internet. We roast the ones we love, but it is so amazing that these there's no love like Christian hate. Sending so much love out to Pastel, reminding us we're just looking for a little bit of empirical evidence, not a lot, but if you could just give us any, that would be fantastic. Just some sort of novel, testable prediction. Unique, verifiable, not ad hoc, if you want to have it in a different phrase. Anyway, sending love to also Chris Disciple, reminding us that Christians, Muslims, theists can be skeptics. The point about being a skeptic is questioning your belief system. So sending love to the entire Skeptic and Ranting community, and sending love, Chris. And sending love to Ian Davenport. Woo! Reminding us
Thanks, Ian.
that we saw him out there. He is amazing. Woo! And apologetic arguments tend to be just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. So, yeah. They're all in the contingency. They're all in on it now. I don't know why. They've given up on Kalam and all the rest. contingency argument
Thank
is
you,
a
Titan.
bad argument, but what's up, Titan? Don't call people. There's a lesser action in overseas. Oh yes. Yeah, I'm very good at that because I was raised. My politics and almost my ethnicity was forged. I used to say actual Nazis. That is the phrase that I used to use because then a whole bunch of other political stuff. But anyway, yeah, frickin' 4chan on poll, just arguing with people because I didn't know what Ashkenazi was. I didn't know any of that stuff, and I would just get in arguments with all these mofos all
90% of the
day.
time the term is used, it's them using it.
Yeah, well, I went to my mother, and I'm like, am I this? And she's like, yeah, I think we are. Yeah, that's and I'm like, what? Isn't that like a thing? Shouldn't I know that? And she's like, I kind of like interior decorating more. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like, I don't know. Secular Jews are just very weird. They go on. The funny thing is, the nationalists and all this, they give Jews a lot of hate because they do the kick out and all this. But as far as I can tell, secular Jews are very assimilated. I want the Christians and the Muslims and all the rest to give up their religion. And, well, it's not even Western. It's secular. I just want secular, not atheist, not state-enforced atheist, because that's the other thing we get. You would have a gun and just make everybody be an atheist? No. Trying to convince people peacefully.
We'll just keep the government out of religion, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But sending
telling
love,
you-
that's going to follow.
They're not forcing you to go to church, but they're not telling you can't either if you want to. It's up to you.
But they also know, that's why the religious people fight it, is they know that if you just give people freedom, they're not going to go to church, and that's going to die. So it's like...
Well, and that's why Islam is very slowly starting to die in the Middle East. It's slowly becoming less prevalent because people realize that, hey, the secular world, it's just better than religion.
Listen, if your leaders are full of shit and all they do all day is known for, like, maybe wearing traditional Arab garb in Lamborghinis, oh, we got them. I'm sorry.
I mean, it seems like they do the 5 times a day. They do all the pilgrimages to Mecca and all that. It really just seems like they're trying to keep them so busy trying to jump through all these hoops that they never have time to actually, question or think about anything else.
Well, they control sources of information. When you control sources of information, so when people get access to the internet, I hate to say it was the printing press, but the printing press also spread these books. And so when people get access to information, however, it tends to be the death of religion. And so the internet is where religion goes to die. It seems to be more atheistic for a reason, I think, and that's going to eventually be reflected in society as we become even more of a technological society.
Well, not only religion, but also authoritarian regimes who, suppress information, suppress the people. Like what do you think in North Korea, the thing Kim Jong-un is most afraid of would be his people getting open access to the internet. That would be like the worst.
I was going to say a
scenario
treadmill, but that was my second guess. Hey. Listen, we don't shame no one in here. I'm into all body sizes. Come on over, Kim. The water's fine. What were we talking about?
Asian bear, but
Ooh. You can't call him. You can't call him. Oh wait, no, that's China. That's China. When you can't call him Pooh Bear. Man, what is with men and small penises? Oh, I guess we found it.
Although it is
authoritarian
interesting,
regimes. I wonder if Bella Assad has a
they say that Kim Jong Un is
Assad.
actually grooming his daughter to potentially take over. It could be a woman leader leading the country one day.
I did see that. There was rumors and all. I saw things about that where he was sick and she was in, but then it went back to being him still. But yeah, it could be. Everybody can't live forever.
His sister, he's got a biological sister, I think, who actually does a lot of the stuff for him. Like,
sure,
she could do like the dirty work. That way, he doesn't have to get his hands dirty, and he can look like just this great, amazing guy. He's a man of the people.
He's not really known as an intellectual. I'm trying to think what his story he's just known as a pudgy regime leader. He's known as Cartman, but over there,
likes expensive cars, Rolls Royces, expensive liquor, Hennessy, smokes like a chimney.
Yeah, so come on over to America. Stop rule. So please allow them to have electricity. Holy mother of... Just crazy to look at that.
You ever see the map, the videos from the ISS?
From satellites?
Yeah, the whole region. It's China's lit up.
Inside.
Russia, you even see lights on in Russia. You see South Korea. You see Japan with their lights on, and just North Korea is almost pitch black. Hardly anything you can even discern to be light coming from it.
But it's almost like a pseudo kingy religion-y. They do the same stuff. Speaking of which, take our Bible study. Thank you. Last but certainly not least, Regos. They love Regos. We are knee deep in Joshua. We have to do a Bible study. And we're almost in the 90s, which is crazy. We're going to eventually do 100th Bible study. And Joshua was about to check out, even though he was all fit and all toned. He was going to be taking over for Moses. But steady love, Regos. Or he was taking over for Moses, because Moses is dead. Charlton Heston in the ground. God promised him that he would go up to the point of Holy Land, and that is it, which is up. That is messed up. To make you lead your people to the Holy Land. They don't have an afterlife. That's it. Tough break, Moses. You get a good Hollywood interpretation later. But I think, James, I'm going to be right back 1 second, and then let's get into our opposition viewpoint. We are skeptic and ranting on how not really I, James, or myself, but how this person found God. Dun, dun, dun. They are blessed. This is what I mean. Just give theological arguments. It's like when I try to discuss theology and all I talk about is my genitals. Just forget. The mods only get rid of stuff that generally breaks TOS or is dealing with team stuff. He's dealing when you're bitching about the mods, it is that's what I mean. But you're picking at an inch. Why don't you just give us theological arguments? Why do you believe in God? Blessed be He. Oh my God. I guess yeah. I'm gonna be right back. But I can't help myself. What's up, Beamsy? Boom, boom, boom.
Wacka dummy.
You never need expensive liquor. You just need a good grip of the ears. Boing, boing, boing. And I'll be right back. Slap that ass. Signed, Beamsy.
Go ahead. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. It's good to be back with you guys. This is a short video, but it's an interesting one that Amy found. They really, like I said, they pack as much nonsense as possible into a short video because it's coming out like a fire hose. But we'll be there to dissect it and tell you. We'll be there to shed some light on their ignorance and silliness of the things that they say and do. Yeah, then we'll probably be back Saturday, maybe Sunday, coming up on the weekend. And then we'll go from there. We probably have a Bible study coming up sometime in the next week. I know Peter's got a debate that Amy's getting set up to do on a day when after she gets off work. And yeah, then we got a AMA coming out probably in the next week or so. So we got a full plate. If it's one thing you got to give the religious, they produce a lot of silly content for us to go over. They really spam lots of bullshit out there, and we just like to point it out, tell you what they're actually saying. But yeah, good to see you out there, Farron, Lambie, Beamsy, Titan, Ember. Oh, good to see Ember, Sumami. Yeah, this one's only like 5-minute video, but it'll take us a little longer to get through it than that. But then we'll open up for a brief open mic. So I'm not even going to attempt the video today. Right in my area, the service is so bad this time of day. Yeah, it'll just make things. It'll lag. It'll be bad. I'm not even going to try it this time of night. After like 11, 10, 11, 12, it starts to get a little bit better, but not right now. Zosalix, good to see you back. Hillhugger. So, the subject of the video is a former trans woman who has transitioned back to being a man, and of course is very regretful of what she did and would like nobody else to transition because it didn't work out for them. Therefore, nobody should do it. Which is really, especially the kids, don't let these people fool you. They really don't care about these kids. All they really care about is they just want fewer people to transition. That's it. They don't care. And if telling adolescents no puberty blockers, you have to go through puberty with the gender you're assigned at birth. And if that means that, when you're 19, 20, and you say, well, oh man, I feel like I want to transition, but I've already gone through puberty, so I don't know if I would ever look really feminine enough or masculine enough. I don't know if I would ever be pretty or if I would look like some, yeah. And if that's the case, then they're totally fine with that. If that means fewer people transition, they say, yeah. I mean, hey, I understand you might want to, but you're not going to be the most attractive woman out there. So you probably should just stay and forget about this whole transition thing. If that's what happened, that would be great. Even if the person was upset, depressed, sad, that they missed what they felt like was their opportunity. Too bad. They don't care. They just want fewer people to transition. However you get there, no matter what the cost, if it makes people depressed, suicidal, angry, they don't really care.
Yep. Even if it goes against all medical expertise. Just gonna say that I agree with everything that James said and couldn't agree more. And it just has that added layer that this guy also has this transracial thing. So, which once again, Jesus makes you be apparently, whatever they want you to be. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. we are now going to be going into the opposition viewpoint. That's right. How I Found God. ETWN interview from the channel Oli London. And it's a shame because, like you were saying, these people don't give about children. Like,
because we've talked to backstage at least two, maybe more people who said that they would like to transition. They feel like they would help them, but they're leery of it because they don't feel like they would ever really be attractive. They're too masculine. So they don't. They just live life being someone they're not. And, you know, because what else can they do?
indeed. And so I'm going to just play and we'll go through it and have some fun. As much fun as I guess you can have.
We are back tonight with a sharp detour and a dramatic change of heart for the man who once identified as a Korean woman and underwent 32.
Okay. So, like, I couldn't help myself. I was going to try not to say anything that fast. But yes. Identifying as a Korean woman.
I mean, if he gained like 80 or 100 pounds, it might look like Kim Jong-un. I don't know. Not that would be bad or anything. But.
Well, they've had surgeries at this point to try and make themselves look more Asian. Yes.
Yeah.
Once again, they were not supported. This has not been a supported position by the transgender, by the LGBTQ community. And, you know,
it's like, oh, what's next? People are going to be marrying animals. They'll marry their cow or an alligator. Where does it stop? Even though nobody's ever said anything about that or whatever.
Indeed. Well, that's always like eventually you're going to be dating a rocket ship or whatever the hell that they say. And so, no, we just want to be left alone. We had our rights fought for in gay marriage and transgenders.
Gay people
military
can't be with the person they love because you're afraid if we let them do that, a year from now, people will be marrying dogs.
Yes.
So they should all just suffer. Should all just not be able to be who they are and be with the person they love, because if you allow that, they'll be having sex with dogs next, right? I mean, and this is the level of argumentation.
Or becoming a different race, because this is what they often blame liberals and leftists. And every time that I say I don't believe that in race, they're always like, oh, are you claiming to be etc., etc.? I'm like, no, I'm not trying to claim I'm something else. I'm trying to say, hey, wake up. We are all just one human race. Though I think I still have things that I should talk about, because I still have...
There's more genetic diversity within the races than there are between them in a lot of cases.
Yes.
So...
Well, and I think it's easier for me to say this, once again, because of the light skin in the social, economic, let me put my glasses on, sense that I was raised in. However, it's how I feel, and I unfortunately can't hate it. I hate the concept of race. I think it's a silly concept. I think it's gotten a lot of people hurt, and that is really saying it nicely. It's basically abused humans for hundreds and hundreds of years. I only say hundreds, not thousands, because the concept is only a few hundred years old.
It's just an excuse for tribalism, you know, in group out group.
Yes. But that's okay. He found his personal relationship with Jeebus.
Plastic surgeries along the way. Tonight, in part 2 of our interview, social media influencer Oli London tells us the rest of his story, including what happened when God stepped in. I mean, you just really...
And it's always when God steps in. He's got to take the wheel, hit the brakes, do disco. Something's got to happen. What's up, Davegar?
Recently detransitioned, and you said you had a sort of a moment of reckoning in a Catholic church. Tell us about that and how God changed your life.
Oh,
So
yes, tell us.
Well,
Fill us in.
And the other thing about detransitioners is religious people love to use them, and I'm going to say the far right, they love to use them as examples, as, ooh, so this person detransition, that means we should not allow transitioning. Which is like saying someone has an allergic reaction to Tylenol, we should not allow Tylenol.
Yeah,
that is the level of argument.
I was just gonna say, like shellfish. There are people definitely allergic to shellfish. Should we just shut down all the seafood restaurants? You know, because 1% or 2% of the population might have a bad reaction to it.
And they also like to say basically we're 2 or 3% of the population. But the medical experts, the 75 to 90% of medical experts agree with what should happen on a sliding scale depending on the amount of therapy, how old you are, and numerous different factors for transitioning.
I mean,
yeah, let's get back.
Children can't consent, but I mean, does that mean we don't provide children medical care because we think they can't consent to it? Because, you know, as an adult, you can't be forced to get medical care that you don't agree with.
Do you know what the number one technique we give to children who are suffering with gender dysphoria?
What's that?
Therapy. You go to a therapist to talk about what is going on in their life and to see what actually is happening. Is it a gender problem? Do you have just some sort of anxiety? Do you have some sort of something else? It could be many things. They could be overlapping or they could not be. But the vast majority and the first step is therapy, and therapy almost the entire way.
I was feeling, very sad about what I've done to myself. I was looking at myself in the mirror and I'm thinking, what have I actually become? What's happened to the real Oli that was inside of me, because I felt like the old me was dead. I didn't recognize that person when I look at old pictures, and I thought, why have I done this to myself? And then I was walking home one day and I saw people filing into a church. They were all smartly dressed. They were all in good spirits. I couldn't walk into the church. So I thought, I got curious and I thought, let me go inside. I've always been curious about Christianity.
Oh boy.
You said, let's just go into church.
Hey,
I've always just been...
there's a church. I never been into one of them. I wonder what they do in there. Huh.
James, I'm bi-curious. I'm church curious.
I mean, might as well just go in and see what they're doing in there. Why not, right? I mean, hey.
The water's fine with Jesus.
But now, if this person, if Oli did not get proper medical screening and medical care, if they didn't follow the standard of care to make sure this treatment was appropriate and it ended up causing harm, then, I mean, I think our hearts go out to him that, because that would be bad. But be that as it may, there are good doctors and bad doctors, and, the bad doctor's going to be bad doctors. That doesn't mean we just renounce the use of medicine because some of them, aren't doing the job very well.
Have seen some detransitioners where, excuse me, clearing my throat, where if you dig into the article, it's like, well, I lied to my therapist about everything, and then somehow this bad therapist let me get. It's like, well, I mean, they're not mind readers. Jesus, they're Jesus.
If you go in and you tell them you have the symptoms and you're describing it the right way, and they go through the standards of care, they follow the DSM that guides them and helps them diagnose it. But yeah, if you're going in there and lying to them, then what do you expect? I mean, if you go in to see a psychiatrist and you keep telling them you're hearing voices and you're seeing things, and they put you on antipsychotic medication, well, I mean, what do you expect? That's what they're going to do to try to control the
And try and help you.
hallucinatory. Yeah, the way. But if you don't really have them, then I guess the side effects of that medication could be, if it's not helping you anyway, then the side effects would be, hard to deal with. But all treatments, all drugs, they all have side effects, and they all have risks.
Have you ever just heard of a drug commercial? Just listen to the end of them.
Yeah. So,
but that's not
if you have let's say you don't have high cholesterol and you take cholesterol medication. Well, it's not helping you because your cholesterol is not high anyway. But you have to deal with the side effects that, you're not getting any benefit out of it, but you are dealing with potential negative side effects.
Well, I'm on epilepsy medication, and it makes me sleepy. However, completely gets rid of seizures. I do not have a seizure when I'm on the medication. I've had one when I forgot my pills, but if I'm on my pills,
you know what it
never
is.
Have a seizure. What
do
I have it is? James, can I tell you something? I will never know. I will probably never know why I have epilepsy. It is going to go with me
what do
to
they
the
give
grave.
you?
What do they give me? Carbamazepine.
Okay. So,
I know. I remember it because it starts with a carb.
Was it
apparently it's going up
or...
to I believe so. I should know that. But I think so. I want to go down to a higher level. Or low. I go like this. I want to go down to a lower level because it does make me sleepy. I'm technically on one that puts me over my level. But I'm still clearing out my throat. Let me tell you something.
If you can
I'm
take
pretty
a lower
sure I have a
dose
cold.
Okay, then yeah, go
but
for
that
it.
Dayquil.
Step it down gradually.
Get sleepy every once in a while. Don't ask Rachel. She'll be like, she just passes out places. But that's okay. This person is hurting and you are laughing. No. This person, first of all, this person has been known for making a lot of money off doing things. Okay? And so the grifting, look, we all want to make money. This is a capitalist free market and blah, 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 blah. I'm fine with that. But the going from one crazy thing to another, this is kind of, at least from what I've been researching, his trademark.
And like I was saying, if this person, if Oli did get substandard medical treatment, if maybe they shouldn't have transitioned, maybe they didn't really meet the criteria, and the doctor didn't do a good job of making sure that they did, and they got treatment that they didn't really need, or they could have been screened out of, then yeah, I feel bad for the person.
Indeed. Well,
yeah.
The whole goal in life is we just want you to feel comfy in your own body. It's not that we're like, ooh, you detransitioned, I hope that you feel bad. No, if detransitioning,
it's appropriate, if it makes you feel better.
So I'm not convinced because of the religious aspect, because of literally, it is like I found God and now I'm not doing it anymore. But if it was like an act, if it was in the here and the here, the mind and the brain, I mean, I just want you to feel happy about life. That is the whole goal. We're not trying to be cynical, but then he becomes this whole anti-transgender, anti-LGBTQ, because once again, he's being assimilated into a cult. What's up, praise the big bad bomb? And what's up?
But the mistake is, like Amy was saying, if you have a medication allergy, does that mean that no hospital should have that medication, even if it saves people's lives, even if it helps people? Should they just not have it because you are allergic? You can't take it because it'll harm you, but the other 99% of people who take it are not harmed by it.
Are you going to ban nuts because someone has nut allergies? You should treat people who have nut allergies with respect. Does that mean that if you don't, you shouldn't eat nuts? Especially if your own home, away from... No. Oh, my. But we're getting back into it. so much wisdom in such a short. This is like filet
Sat
mignon.
inside, I watched the service, I sang along with some of the hymns, and I just found it was a very welcoming place. All the people there were
There you go. He went in, he
Isn't that
sang
right?
songs. God is
Christian,
real.
known for being so welcoming.
They are. They're known for being open-minded and tolerant. Just people who completely disagree with them. Come on in.
friendly, they were happy, they seemed like they're in a good place in life. And I thought, maybe I can be like that too. Maybe I can find this happiness. And then after the service, the priest actually approached me. We had a conversation.
Oh, did he now? I'm sorry. That joke was too easy. But, it is the Catholic Church. Oh, no. Oof. That joke is way too easy. Anyway.
Me a Bible, and they made me feel
Is
welcome.
that a
and they said I was
euphemism?
welcome back anytime. So since then, I've been going 3 times a week. I've got my own Bible. I've been studying the teachings of Jesus, and I just think there's so many good things in the Bible.
There is.
Really?
James,
Really?
there was a guy, he was picking up sticks on the Sabbath, and God was like, hey, stone him to death. And they did.
The Bible.
But that was the
Old
Old Testament. So maybe the New Testament. Oh, that's right. The God who, if you don't worship and love him, he will burn you forever. Oh, right. That guy. Okay.
About what Jesus did with the leper man. The leper was rejected from society. Jesus came to wash him when nobody else would help this person. And I almost felt that I identified with the leper in the sense that these people online, the trans lobby, they have kind of vilified me and tried to paint me out as a bad person just for sharing my story. So I thought the teachings of Jesus.
Stop it here. We have to set something straight. So Jesus, being God, is the one who created leprosy. Okay, he made it up. Without him, there would be 0 people would have leprosy. 0. Okay, he had the power while he was on earth. He could have cured every person of leprosy instantly. It wouldn't have cost him anything. It wouldn't have been hard. It would be no effort. He could have done it just as easily as you can walk down the street. He could have done it instantly. But he did it to one random dude, and he told the rest of the lepers, all the other, tens of thousands of people at the time that were suffering, sucks to be you guys. Have fun dying. But yeah, this is the thing, and this is what God does. Is God creates the problems. He is the one who makes up these dangers, these bad things, and then the cavalry rides in. He rides in on horseback and rescues you from the mess he created and demands that you worship him and thank him forever for rescuing you. Well, gee, God, thanks.
But yes, sending love out there. I see you, blessed be he. And that's, hey, that I completely get you. And I'm bisexual too, and you're bisexual, and will always be bisexual. And I'm glad I hope you're having a good time and raising a fantastic family. I am very much into that word. I'm reclaiming family culture and tradition, because that's kind of what the conservatives are like. You don't talk about those. And yet, I find that, have you ever seen a Pixar movie? I mean, please. Anyway, or a Marvel movie, or Hollywood. Have you been to Hollywood? How I Found God. We're getting back into it.
Yeah, Farron, that's true. Give God the glory for the hard work you do. And this is the thing about God. How would an omnipotent being derive glory from anything? He defeats enemies that are infinitely weaker than him, and he derives glory from that. Like, it would be like a pro NFL team playing a bunch of Pee Wee League, 7-year-olds out there playing football, and then they destroy them and they say, oh my gosh, look at that. We kicked their ass. They suck. We're the best. Well, yeah, no shit. They're infinitely weaker than you. Then you don't have a chance.
about spreading love and
I
kindness.
can't help
and,
it.
You know,
I'm reading
Christian
the chat.
people have given me so
Sending
much love
love,
over
chat.
the past month, and I do want to get baptized very soon and, you know, become fully.
Let me tell you something. A preach approached him. He got on his knees. He read what was right in front of him, and then he allowed him to be dipped. I'm just saying that's what he told us, right? That's what.
That's what I got out of it.
Okay, just making sure.
Christian.
Oh, hold on. Let me do that. I like the wiggle because he's like, hold on.
Become fully Christian.
Oh, that is wonderful. And I know
I can't even help it because it's kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie, and yet it's like when you see a villain do something cute. Does that make sense? Like, I also love just the like. It's not crocodile tears. I'm trying to think what it is. Maybe it's like the glory of being defeating an LGBTQ person. She's like, we converted one.
We got
but
one.
they have this whole Stepford thing going on over here where just looking at him.
I want to bring this up too, that at some point you were considered somewhat of a controversial figure, and maybe even so now, in taking part in some.
Yes, because you had surgeries to be erased when you could have just went to South Korea. This is what I mean. If he actually gave up about children, who cares if they were South Korean children? He could have just went to South Korea and taught them English. But that's not what they want. They want to be special. They want to feel. And this is what they call about LGBTQ people when we really just want to be left alone. Like, we make gay bars. You don't have to go into them. It's okay. I'm sending love to all my friends out there. We are Khaleesi. It's a Rubiks. Who else? Church or Robot. Everybody out there, keep on saying love. We'll keep on sending love to you. We are almost done it. You're right, James. It made it like I said, short video, but there's just so much. Hey, anyone want to see my Claire impression? Anyone know who Claire is? And like I said, a roast is that's okay. The lefts will know her because they probably hate it. This is my Claire impression. I probably need bigger tits. Anyway.
It might help.
See, it's a non-political joke, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I like here. Except for this. I get political for this shit. This shit is... I hate... I don't want to... I'm trying to, like... I don't want to say cray-cray. I don't want to go, like, too mean. I'm trying to, like... rein in my language. It's just like bullshit.
You have to realize
bullshit.
This is something that's like this video. This is packaged for like the in crowd. This is something that is made for people who are already Christians. It's for that audience. It's not really for us. So.
Yes, I mean this very specifically is for the wedge issue people that I've been trying to ring a bell about. And I think you have too. Because I honestly, it's not just me that they are selling a wool. They're using me to, in my opinion, sell people bullshit. Because they could be talking about anything else. Like anything else. And yeah. At this point, all the LGBTQ people is like inclusion, diversity. Let's not hate humans. And then the other side is doing all this first world made up problem bullshit that they're going to try and get fascist governments in from that. That's okay. That's okay. Who's counting?
As I said before, I mean, what else are they supposed to do, Amy? Walk up to a microphone and say, yes, we want to take more from you and give it to the wealthiest people in the country, and then everything will be great. Everything will be fine.
Exactly. It'll trickle down.
We'll reduce their taxes. You guys will make up the difference by paying more, or we're going to cut services. We're going to cut programs, the programs that your kids use, the wealthy shouldn't have to pay for that anymore. So we're going to cut that out.
Yeah, it's just
They can't really do that. So what else do they run on?
The middle class tax cuts will go by, and the permanent tax cuts just complete. Not to bring it into anyway. Yes, they're gonna basically fuck the rural people over that they support and the religious, but it's okay because they're not gonna be teaching gender ideology and critical race theory in the K through 12 system, James. You have no problem there. You know, most of the teachers can't afford pencils, but it's okay. Actually, I'm a big supporter of our public schools because they're awesome. It's honestly these religious people.
Now that you work in one.
Oh, I do. You have no idea. I understand why I was in the class I was in now. If I did what I did to me, it would freak the fuck out of me. I used to say, like, I don't even know why these teachers freak out. I just pick up, I ask to go to the bathroom, and then I go to the library for 2 hours. I don't really understand what the big problem is. I'm still in the school. James, it was good times. Good times. But I got through it. And then I eventually fell in love with academia. I got into college. And then once I was in college, I was just able to pick the subjects I like. And that was like a rolling thing. Yes, you take things that interest you. And then you can be as arty party as you want and use technology and combine them. And anyway, we're going to talk about how he found God. He joined a cult. They hate when I use the C word. Like, but that's what this is. Okay? I don't know if their gender is male or female in their heart. They're saying they're he right now, so I'm going to use male pronouns. I don't know. I don't care what your skin color is. And so that's annoying and offensive. So maybe I'm hoping let that one go and then don't have a personal relationship with someone who you can't prove exists outside of time and space, reigning in the kingdom of heaven forever.
And use this person that you've postulated as a reason to deny others health care.
Yes.
This guy who you can't prove that he even exists, but he doesn't want you to get gender treatment, Amy. He doesn't like it. So therefore you shouldn't. Can you even demonstrate
for the vast majority?
No, we can't. But he still doesn't like it.
And I sometimes get from the religious people, I'm like, well, your gender exists as much as my God. I'm like, first of all, are you really trying to bring it down? And it's like, no, actually, my gender exists. It's just feminine. It's the feminine or masculine. It is the cultural elements that we attach to biological sex. And so that is real. That's a phenomenon that happens.
I'm pretty sure gender is more real than their God.
Yes, I'd make that claim. Yeah. That we have, it is the social aspects.
You can point to examples of it. I mean, it is in some ways social construct, but be that as it may, it's still something you can give an example of. Yeah.
Well, we're social creatures.
God,
we sometimes use that, and it falls under my 2-word whatever. But, it is basically, we are social creatures. We, generally speaking, because they always start, that's the other straw man. Can we start with that? Because we don't bring that up. But what's a woman? What's a woman? They'll put it on a billboard, put it on a shirt. Just that we know what sex is. Sex exists in plants, which means you don't even need consciousness to have sex. You just need a fucking hummingbird, okay? So let's just put that aside in our pocket.
Give me a break. What is a 14-inch black dildo? I mean,
A Friday night. What are we talking about?
yeah. I mean, what is anything?
What is anything? But we believe that sex is real. We believe in chromosomes and genetics and all this stuff. In fact, you know who doesn't? You guys, because you don't believe in evolution or biology, and you think that a talking snake was how women came to be. And so when we ask, what is a woman? I have to say, is there at any time a point where you can go in McDonald's and I want the Mick Eve? Because no, you can't.
Well, so what happened was, Amy, is that God made Adam. He just made Adam, okay, and then he made a bunch of animals. And Adam went through and named all the animals, and God asked Adam which one he wanted to be his partner, his helper. And Adam,
and he chose the giraffe, but
well,
God was like, let's have a rethrow of that one, a rethrow of the dice there.
And Adam, he didn't want to have sex with any of them. He did not find even one animal that he wanted to have sex with. So that's when God got the bright idea, like a light bulb went off in his head. Oh, okay. We'll make something that's like you, but slightly different. There we go. That makes sense.
You just gotta be asleep. We're just gonna take something. You're not gonna miss it. In fact, one day, at least from the expertise of Marilyn Manson, or so the rumor goes, you're gonna be able to suck your own. So I mean, this is like a win-win from either way.
This guy, he's fucking brilliant. Like, he came up with the idea of having women when Adam didn't want to have sex with animals. I mean, this guy is a fucking genius.
He's a genius.
I mean,
whew. Actually, God did know that. He had to go ask Adam about it. Why didn't God just put two people on the earth in that expansion pack that he called the Earth? But that's okay.
I mean, what was Adam supposed to do? Procreate with, a goat? I mean, say he got to the goat, he's like, God, yeah, that's the one. That's the one I want to be my partner. But humans are not infertile with goats, so they wouldn't have been able to have offspring unless God specially made it so that they could have half human, half goat babies.
However, if you ask ancient Jews, Christians, and Muslims, you may be able to mate with a goat. Okay, we're going to go back to the video, Oli London, How I Found God.
Goat
Behaviors
fuckers.
that may be considered a little eye-raising. There was a video of you marrying a man several months ago in a ceremony.
Eye-raising?
Dressed.
First of all, I want to know, is he still married? Because if not, and he got divorced within 2 months, girl... which reminds me, sending love. I forget. It was with the Blessed. I have been in a partner for 3 years right now with it's been us, and this is where it gets fun, and our femboy who lives in our basement. What a good time. Though it's an entire apartment complex down there. So, we got a little Three's Company too going on, though. We're all bisexual, or at least we'll make the femboy into one. And so, yeah, all a good time. All a good time.
Up like a topless priest. I'm curious, can you talk to us
Topless
about
priest.
what was happening in your life at
Yeah.
that
So basically, a little bit,
point,
little
and
bit
how
edgy.
things have changed for you, how God has helped you?
Well, firstly, I want to apologize for any of my past behaviors because I really was a lost.
Wow. And I like how this is the most risque thing that they put up here. I mean, it just
It's
looks
a
like
Christian TV channel,
Yeah, I guess so.
They don't want to turn on their guests, their viewers,
My goodness,
Say,
I know.
that tranny looking kind of cute. They don't want that to happen.
Person. I felt like I was battling my demons inside. I just felt really, really unhappy. And I feel like, I was trying to do things that try and make me happy, but they were actually making me feel worse inside.
Okay, except for this image, you did seem pretty happy. But
You know,
yeah,
why is it? What is it making you feel worse about? What is it?
like listen, I like anime. Have you ever tried cosplaying? I feel like that's an easier outlet than having facial surgeries to look like a very specific nationality. Once again, I think South Korea is fucking awesome. It is just confusing, very confusing, and not supported by the medical community, the LGBT community. That's why this guy's always been kind of against the LGBT community, but now he's in with the religious, and so yeah.
So, if anyone saw my past behavior or thought, it was a little bit unusual, or my identity, or
Then you may have been raised with Madonna. I mean, come on. Okay,
my
whatever.
is a little bit weird, then I do apologize for that. I think everyone has a chance to redeem themselves. Everyone has a chance to change. I've been finding God. It's a long journey.
James, look how unhappy they look.
I know I've got a long way to go, but I hope that Christians
This needs to change and stop.
Can accept me.
And what would you say to those who may be going through struggles right now like you went through?
And I love this. Okay, this is like their hallmark moment. Once again, do you see just the Fox News meets Stepford meets an AI system over here? Could not be more proud.
I would just say, be strong, stay true to yourself. Don't do anything you're going to regret. This would be my message to teenagers. Don't go through these surgeries. Don't
do drugs, kids.
Take these puberty blockers. Don't go through hormone replacement therapy because it's extremely harmful.
No, this is not.
Don't listen.
Oh my goodness. Do you see what they did there? I didn't notice it the first time I watched it. They showed like all of the feminine photos, but now look at they're doing Botox and all the other shit. No, I'm sorry. I don't get Botox every other week. Okay? So
people that do this from a young age are going to live to regret it.
I mean, what he's basically saying is, yeah, I would tell those people, don't listen to your doctor, don't listen to your therapist, your psychiatrist doesn't know what he's talking about. All those people are dumb. They're incompetent. You should get your medical advice from me. You should listen to me instead of all them. Well, I think people should probably listen to their doctor more than some guy on the internet.
What? You want medical expertise instead of University of EWTN? Yes, this is
I pray the rosary 50 times a day. Trust me. I know more than the doctors.
Can I talk about this? Because grooming is what they do. It is their MO, is give me the child and I will give you the man. They want to convert as many. And when I ask them, when I pressure them on this, I'm like, hey, you don't want anyone pushing ideology on children. And they always go, yes. And I always go, so we shouldn't be pushing like a Christian, religious, or something ideology on them. And they go, well, I mean, that's the right one. Okay. So yes, they're not biased at all. As well as the softball questions.
Yeah, so why do we send our kids to Sunday school or to Hebrew school why do we do that?
Yeah, well, my mom did it because she said she was trying to be a good Jew. That is exactly what she said.
Yeah, I mean, she's not trying to do any harm. She's just doing it's tradition to send your son to Hebrew school, but
what's up, Charlie? Yeah, no. I mean, she was just trying to do what she probably thinks her mother did. And so, if I and actually probably one day I'd like to have children, they will learn about religions. And so if they want to be religious, I'm not gonna chastise my child for being it, but I think the best antidote is honestly just information. And then yeah, and also listen, if you're someone who got Botox, there's like actual medical reasons for Botox. I'm trying to think, but whatever. But don't try and equate it with what we are, because that is Or I should say that's overlapping magisteria, because you can be a biological man or a biological woman and get Botox. That has nothing to do. And this was all in pursuit in something that I don't think exists. And medical experts, I'm trying to think how to, biologists do not think exists.
For their whole life. You know, in some cases they will have serious illnesses, bone tissue issues. So I would just say, please don't be doing this as a kid. You know, if you feel trapped.
Yes, I think Beamsy was talking about this earlier, and I feel the same way. And this is the way it already is that generally speaking, it's like a sliding scale. You start with therapy.
Good night, davegar.
Night, davegar. And we're coming into the end of the video anyway, and then we'll do probably just a short open. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about bone tissue, unless he got. Well, see, here's the thing. He probably got actual surgeries to cut down his bone tissue and all this shit. And I don't actually know. I'm just assuming. But he did. Was looking at his Wikipedia page, and it's got a lot of crazy stuff. And so it's like, for me, transitioning. I explained this the same way. It was just my character selection. I already knew what I wanted. I was feminine. I still like stuff. I still like video games that is stereotypically guys, but though there's a lot. My niece is biological. She loves video games. And so I just came out, and once I finally was able to be comfy about myself, we're all working on ourselves. It's all things we want. But then you start to focus on other shit, like this. You start to do worry about skepticism. You start to worry about deeper issues than the stuff that the religious people hate about us. Just who we we're just born this way.
Trapped in your body, you know, find yourself, go to a church, go to a Catholic church.
Yeah, perfect place to find yourself. Go to a church, right?
If you are sexually vulnerable, go to a priest. That's who you need to go talk to, James. I know a lot of people, they say the Catholics get it hard. I know there's a lot of...
Don't talk to a doctor. Don't talk to, someone who actually knows what they're talking about. Go to a church.
It's just crazy. They're obsessed with sex.
If your dog or your cat gets sick, Amy, don't go to a vet. Go to the pool man. Yeah, go to the guy who puts chemicals in your pool to treat your sick animal.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And guidance, because I think a lot of young people these days, they're just lost. They just don't know who they are, and they see these things online.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty common among young people.
They think that's completely normal when it really isn't. It's
and
not.
You're fine. I can send love out to you, Udolph. If that's, I'm probably, I would love to get FFS one day, and things like that. But just because there's things that you would change, it is about liking who you are on the inside. So we all have to have stuff like that. And so sending love out there. And yeah.
Normal thing. It's a recent thing that's happened due to the education system, due to social media and other influences pushing this on kids.
That's the other thing. Social media is not what makes people transgender. It is what allows people to go, hey, I thought I was alone, but now there's 1 billion people out there, and so why should I be afraid of coming out when I'm not the only one?
I would just say, be strong, love who you are, love yourself the way God made you. Don't be going.
There we go, though. See, and that sounds like such an innocuous. Sounds like such a throwaway statement, and look how happy she is there. My goodness, that is her O-face. Let me tell you.
Go back.
Oh,
let's hear it one more time.
Oh, he just said God.
say, be strong, love who you are, love yourself the way God made you. Don't be going under.
Love yourself the way God made you, which is really what this episode is about. How I found God. And so, yeah, Sumami, exactly. The irony. And so, see, I'm trying to think. What have I had? Gum graft, Farron. I've had a root canal. I've had a fake tooth. I've had wisdom teeth pulled. I feel like I've had a lot of stuff. I had a lot of stuff when I was born. Because I was a preemie. Preemies. Boo doo boo boo. James, did you know I have ADD?
I have heard that before.
Yeah, I know. Electric Monk. Catholic Church teaches you're born with original sin. How is that loving yourself? It's not. Well, this is what I mean. They have normalized so much of this, and this is a clean cut, made for, I guess, TV interview. But he joined a cult. I stand by the C word. Is that he believes, and I can't tell how much he's bought into it yet. He seems like he's just, at least from this video, how his theological expertise may not be up to snuff. But
does he even know what the church teaches or whatever?
Yeah. But I mean, many of these people think they have a personal relationship with a god. And that to me, doesn't that seem like a cult? I don't know. Am I the only one? What's up, to Freak? What's up, Gothbosh?
These changes. Just be happy and find love within yourself.
Yes. Find love within yourself, but you don't need God.
Well, Oli, thank you so much for sharing your story with
much.
us. We really appreciate it. God bless you.
Thank you, Tracy.
Did she sneeze? Oh, I'm sorry.
God bless you.
Oh,
I mean,
God damn it.
Talking so much but saying so little. Did he actually say much with any substance to it? I don't think so.
No. Just basically said he found God, and so now no homo.
Not how he found God, why he found it, or what convinced him.
James, they sung a song. What more do you need?
He walked into a church, sang a song, the priest came up to him, and at that point he decided that God was real. I guess. I don't.
Just felt so welcoming. That is bullshit. I'm sorry. I don't know. It just seems like grift.
I mean,
so,
God loves you. You're on your way to hell right now.
Catholic. They're glad it's a C. It's a CCC and not a KK. Well, that was How I Found God from Oli London. He is a YouTuber. We've now done our obligatory shouting, shilling. And yeah, we're about to go into the open mic because there was just so much wisdom.
Did you have a lot of views? What's the views on this one?
28,000.
Hey, 9 months, 28,000.
Not bad. But he had
Plus it's been on TV, so people have seen it on TV too.
And he had followers before this whole rigmarole. But yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't believe in race. You can't change who you are. If you are transgender, you're actually just coming out and accepting yourself. That's what people don't get about the whole other body thing. We try to use that as an analogy, but analogies ultimately fail. It's not like, whoa, oh my God, I'm floating up here in another body. It's that if you try to put me in certain situations, in a certain, make me have to be certain ways that I am not naturally, you're going to make me uncomfortable, and I'm going to feel like I'm in the wrong body. And so, yeah, I just came out and just started wearing the things. I don't wear this shirt because it says female on the back of it. I wear this shirt because you should never trust an atom. They make up everything. It's kind
And
of
I
true.
mean,
They're dirty little liars.
this is not like something one person had and nobody has ever dealt with it before. It's a part of the human experience that has been around for as long as we can tell. There have been people who were gender nonconformist, who gravitated towards the opposite gender. It's
There
always
are
been there that we know of. It's going to be a thing in the future. It's just part of the human experience.
Exactly. And the bonobos are basically having fucking orgies over there. And so, half or more of the LGBTQ we can recognize in other apes. And I just think that as long as Homo sapiens, as long as we are going to have gender, you're going to just have a gradient of people. And, generally speaking, man and masculine is going to match up, and woman and feminine are going to match up, and sometimes they're not. They're going to be switched, and it's really not rocket science if you think about it. I mean, like, I understand that you shouldn't just assume people. I understand that, but do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they just make it harder than it has to be.
Yeah, because they're trying to conceal their motivation. They're trying to conceal what they want. They're trying to put up this aura that they just care about people and they're trying to help and they mean
James,
no
it's
harm.
all about women and children. Don't you know? We gotta save the women and children.
They're trying to portray themselves as just these loving, caring people that just want to help. They just love everybody, and that because that's what sells. That most people don't like people who are bullies or assholes to people, and so it makes it look better than what it really is.
Can I ask you, James, how much time do you have?
Well, I'm good.
Okay, because I'm gonna open this panel and I may get off in a few minutes, and then I may just turn the keys over to you.
All right, we'll see how it's going.
If no one comes on,
Yeah,
then we'll turn it out.
Okay.
But this person is just needs to
At least 20
find
minutes.
a non-cult. Excuse me. Yeah, it's crazy. I've been waking up at 5:30. 5:30? But I'm getting a pattern. It has just been getting systems. Once I get these systems, oh my goodness. I'm very much hoping that what I need to do, James, is that I need to do two things. I need to stream once I just like come home and sometimes do three. We need to figure out somewhere we could just do like 4:00 streams. Just come home, stream, and I can pass out. And then we gotta do more late night. I want to do more late night streams on weekends. And I don't know.
What do you say? We'll come back this Saturday?
We can come back this Saturday. I'd like to.
Probably early in the evening, like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, unless you want to do later.
Yeah, we probably make that work. I know it's crazy, and I'm not a morning person, Doorknob Head. I am one of those people that very much is like, until I have my coffee, I'm basically just an autopilot. And yeah.
I don't see it. If I don't have to work, I can't imagine people voluntarily getting up early in the morning.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It is really cool doing what I do. I think I'm gonna as I slowly building.
Yeah, that's right, Tsunami. Because dad doesn't care.
Oh, I'm sending so much love. I care. You are awesome. But James is like, I'm trying to think what else. I'm just excited. I had a really good semester in my professorship. I am obsessed with charts now, forever. Just like the rubric class made me obsessed with rubrics. I think I'm now going to be obsessed with data visualization. Like PowerPoints could be so much nicer. They don't have to be. Ladies and gentlemen, don't make your employees suffer. Don't make your peers suffer. Make a good PowerPoint. Bullet points. Don't no sentences. Your paragraphs. If you write a paragraph, I will stat one. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, but please, like, trim it down. That way, if you're reading what is on a PowerPoint, you're failing. You can't. You can read what are the things, the actual stuff on there. But if you read a sentence and they have to read the sentence while you're reading the sentence, you're fighting them. Their brain is not going to.
I mean, just think like Ken Hovind's PowerPoint slides. Some of them are just a clusterfuck. They're so messy and
just people are like, I'm gonna fill it up. I'm gonna fill up the entire slide. Why? Because then I won't have more slides. No.
Pictures, examples.
Take more slides.
I have over 50,000 slides, Amy. You can get
yeah.
all my slides on a thumb drive for $99. Send us. We'll give you a second for only $50 more, and you get a complimentary edition of the DVD video series.
Favorite day, DVD number 5. And yes, PowerPoint is your friend. Please
buy my gay porn.
If you're making a graph. I mean, what? It's not gay porn. It's man on man porn.
It's a big penis on that whale, Ken.
15 feet.
15 feet, Jesse Lee Peterson, 15 feet.
Also, if you're making a graph or a chart, turn off your grid lines, okay? You can have grid lines while you're making it. When you're done making it, turn it off.
I mean, it's like having grill marks on your steak. Do you like that? Grill marks on your steak?
Yeah. Just have a good steak.
A nice medium rare New York strip steak.
We just had steak not too long ago. We're a steak family. Even though now Rachel's an Olive Garden person, but secondary, we're good steak people. They like a medium rare.
Muti.
She's what?
Some Sumami wrote. Something off the police, mother.
Oh. I thought that said Shayla Buff for one second, and that's how you know I'm getting sleepy.
My German, it's been a while.
Sheb auf die Pose Mutai.
Die Polizei Mutti.
That's twice as big as a Kent doll. I thought that said Kent doll. Weird, so I was telling Rachel what a himbo was. Do any of you know what a himbo is? That's
no,
right, ladies and gentlemen. If you take a bimbo and a himbo. Lots
only
of mail
17 bimbos. Easy payments of $59.95 plus $3 shipping.
$3 shipping. The water. Known
Ellie Mae Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies. I used to watch that show when I was a kid. They would have it on TV during the daytime.
I know about the Beverly Hillbillies, and it was on. I just never watched it.
It was pretty funny. It was a good show for back in the day.
Slapstick.
They did a movie in the night. I mean, it was a little bit. I mean, sort of, but not completely. They did a movie in like the early 90s that was a little bit more than the series, but it was still decent.
Sounds cool. I'd watch it. I get what do I say? I can't. I'm picking up Rachel's. I tell you what, because I'm very northeasterner. But I tell you what.
What's that?
I don't know. That's just her. That's her thing. Is I tell you what. I'll tell you what. Because she's kind of southern, middle, whatever the fuck. But I will say, James, we may be closing up shop in a few minutes.
We may be closing up by 9, if it's 9 or even before that.
It's been fun. We'll come back. And, this guy, I always try and think to myself, am I giving this guy attention? Because, probably our audience isn't really too familiar with this guy. But I just can't help myself. I view this as like an antidote or like a vaccine when we just hear stupid. And so, I'm not against detransitioners. I think they're a minority within a minority, a 1% within a 2%. But like,
they exist.
They
do exist.
It happens. Though sometimes, because of the things that I was talking about earlier, I just hear stories where they're like, I just told my therapist whatever they wanted to hear. Well, that's not good. Or I just lied to my therapist, or I just did, etc., etc. Like, just when you go to the therapist, please be honest with yourself and them. That's how you get help. Like, I don't want to make you transgender. I want you to like who you are. If you are transgender, cool. If you just have something else, okay, then that's who you are. Cool. Once again, I hate to use this again, but it doesn't seem like rocket science, James. I feel like they just make it way harder. Like morality and everything else that they try.
All right. So while you're still on, Amy, what do you think? Alien bodies, Mexican.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I told you. Yeah. Can I tell you what makes me skeptical? Bodies. I'll tell you what makes me skeptical, okay? And I thought about this, and it could be. And I'll give you my answer to why it could be afterwards. Let me give you my reason why I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical because it's so friggin' like body here, legs in the bottom, here's the skull, 2 eyes this way, here's a mouth. It looks like the gray skin aliens that we're used to are very much like just like, how should I say this? Like clean or blended out humans. They just look like humans. And so I would imagine alien life from not only possibly another solar system, but another galaxy would just be so drastically different that it would not look almost exactly like us, but with but gray. Now, that being said, is there some sort of convergent evolution, and this is the way they had to be, and this is what intelligent life forms? Maybe we all do.
If there's enough planet, then some of it would take that track. It's a good design. It's a good plan for existing.
But you understand my skepticism.
Yeah, that's what I think. I wrote that one of the comments because they talk about, the skeptics, they're always asking for the hard evidence. Then you give them hard evidence, and then they don't like it. It's and I said that's because they've already concluded that that true alien life would be so different from us, we wouldn't even be able to, comprehend it. So the fact that it's sort of similar means they're dismissing it right off the bat. But
I mean, that is my feeling. Now, like I said, I could understand a convergent evolution where it has to go that way, but I would just want it further proved to me.
So there are a couple different possibilities, and it's all just conjecture, right? We don't have any firm thing to say it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be extraterrestrial. I guess it's theoretically possible you could have had, like, let's say you had a lineage from the dinosaurs that became birds that developed human-like intelligence maybe 1,000,000 years ago, and they've been here the whole time, and they've decided to conceal themselves from us. So they may be native to the planet, but they've just been hiding from us for whatever reason, not wanting to interfere with our development, because they sequenced the DNA on it, and it was I think they said 30% of it was different from humans. And so that would almost lead you to believe that, 30%. So like us from,
but that's not even an
chimpanzees, that's
alien.
like
What the
3%.
fuck is it then? That's not an alien.
Well, unless it has to do with genetic engineering or I don't know.
But I'm just gonna point that out. If it is human,
No,
this is we're
I would
Terra.
say whether it be people from another planet, another dimension, whether it be time travelers from the future is one thing people throw out. Whatever that, if it's any of those, I would say that the phenomena is real, even though it might not be extraterrestrial. I don't know.
It might be. I'm
it,
leaning more towards
as
Shroud
know,
of Terran, as far as my opinion. But I could be won over.
As far as I know, they've said these are available for science. That they're available. These are able to be examined by science. You could look at the research. You could look at the DNA results, and be able to make up your own mind about it. If it's a hoax, then I'm sure we'll figure that out. I don't know. It seems like a very elaborate hoax, though, because
so is the Shroud of Terran.
I think this would be orders of magnitude different. These things have been X-rayed, they've been MRI'd. You know, one of them had eggs inside of it, and that would be a lot of work to fake that. I mean, and I don't know that anyone's made any money off of this, so that would be a lot of work just to play a prank on people.
Have you seen prank shows? They spend a lot of time and money. They spend thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, just for one take. But yeah, I get you. I'm trying to think of the one that I've watched. I just watched all of Impractical Jokers. That's what I just got through. I basically watched every season at this point. Oh my goodness, would I love to do that. But James, we probably am coming up on the end.
Yeah. Another couple minutes, and then we'll. Yes, Umami, you don't need to spend a lot to do a good prank. It's really, you can do it for almost nothing and have a great. You know, sometimes simplest is the best.
Trying to think what else. I guess this will be us closing out in a second. We have been talking. Oh, you want to say more?
I was just going to say, isn't it interesting though that they found these two bodies near Nazca, which, if you're familiar with the Nazca lines, they're lines in the desert.
Oh, Nazca, not NASA. Okay.
Yeah, no, not NASA. Nazca.
That
but there are these figures that are drawn in the desert floor that can only be seen from up in the sky. You'd never be able to make out what they are on the ground. So people have theorized that, well, somebody must have been able to see it a long time ago. And these lines are thousands of years old. No one's really ever been able to come up with a rational explanation for them. But it's interesting that they're there. Doesn't mean anything necessarily, but
I'm still betting on humans. But I'm sorry, you're gonna get me, James. You're gonna. Well, I will say, I wanted to, you know, this is the shirt with the "I want to believe." I'm trying to look because I saw the pictures of them. I was looking at it today, or the other day, and it was interesting. They're presenting it to the Mexican government.
Isn't it funny? Like, you can't get the people in America to. They're so tight-lipped, but down in Mexico, they're just like, okay, You want to see bodies? Here, we got bodies. Here you go.
Though let's end on a good note. What we all agree on is that India landed on the moon. Though that's almost old news. That's almost a month now. But for flat earthers, I guess, who believe that the Earth is only 6,000 years old, that's not that long ago at all.
And I did see another interview that the original whistleblower, David Grush, gave that to somebody else maybe a few weeks back. And they asked him, like, why in 1930s, 1940s, why did they decide to keep this a secret? And the first thing he said was, well, I mean, you have to remember the time back then. People were a lot more religious than they are today, and they were worried that, putting something out that would just obliterate religion would be, potentially catastrophic to society. So they decided to keep it under wraps. And then once they did that, they're like, well, we don't want the Russians or the Chinese to get ahead of it, so we're just going to keep this in our pocket and not tell anybody about it. I don't know.
They never just come down and be like, hey, we are from another galaxy. We're just going to come down and say hi. Don't freak out and shit. This is our favorite mixtape from the planet Galarkarpon.
Well,
and so, yeah, enjoy it.
These beings that they found, though, the funny thing about them is they don't have teeth. So they would have to either swallow their food whole
I know
or
where you're
drink
going
their
with
food.
this. Oh, okay.
And isn't it funny, though, coupled with that, these cattle mutilations where the cows are basically drained of blood? I know a lot of people think it's just regular animal scavenging activity, which could be true.
Are you telling me
could be
aliens are
connected.
draining cow blood? James.
It's possible.
That is true. It is not impossible.
I
But
can't
that does
say
sound more like
we don't have any evidence of it. We can't show it or prove it. It's just interesting that things seem to fit together. I don't know.
You need to watch, not Get Out. Did you watch, what is his movie right at? Did you watch Nope? Have you seen Nope?
Nope. What was that?
You need to go watch that movie.
Oh, the Alien movie. With the alien in the clouds. Yeah, I saw that.
Yes. Did you like it?
It was pretty good, yeah.
Just thought it was an interesting concept. Like a living alien spaceship.
Well, in fact, that's what a lot of people have been saying so far, that maybe these things are biological in nature. I don't know. Some of the reports seem to just go off the wall crazy.
But if it's a third human, it's a hoax. That's my opinion. Just because it's not an alien. I mean, what the fuck is that? That's just what they call me, a third lizard. I don't know. I guess I'm open-minded, but I want the other scientists to do some testing. We need some scientists.
Yeah, right. I mean, at this stage, it's just conjecture. We don't have enough to really say anything definitively. Science takes time. They got to do the research. They got to do the work to find out.
I agree, and it's not impossible. I'll keep on saying that. Unlike God, which is the how I found God, that seems to be a little bit more impossible. Not saying it is impossible, but I put God like in the 99% realm of impossibility.
But I mean, we know life exists in the universe, so life can exist. Now, whether that interacts with us at any point in time, I guess the odds are going to be low. So whenever it happens, if it happens, it'll be unlikely, but if it happens, it happens.
Are you sure about that, Sinister? I feel like when you say that, you kind of did do it. Though, okay, James, I am...
Yeah, we'll close it up.
I'm going to do all the thingy things. So even though I feel bad, I know you just got here, Sinister, but I got to wake up, put on my makeup. Here is the fiver. Yay. If you want to get produced by someone who claims to be related to people who shoot space lasers. Right down there. Pew, pew, pew. And I'll help your podcast become a reality, no matter what subject it is. As long as you are a decent, hardworking person, we can make this work. But also, let's do the just regular closeout. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Skeptic and Ranting. I know what I'm going to do. I have to change it to this because with the messed up graphic, it at least has all of our Patreons. Oh my goodness, I need to update this. Thank you. It's still Skeptic
David,
and Ranting.
The Mormons are lizards too. The Mormons are lizards. The Jews are lizards.
Everyone's a lizard. Yay!
Everybody's a lizard, David.
Listen, now we've finally done it. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of I'm Not Searching for It, You Are. We have been talking and loving and ranting over How I Found God, the ETWN, am I saying that right, interview from the channel Oli London. Definitely not a snake oil salesman. Definitely not. For a good time worth finding a Jesus or two. A real straight, yeah. And multiple people were saying he just gives me Milo vibes. Milo, very straight right now. Straight.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yo, Doorknob Head. Did you know that they're making and I'll tell you this, James, we're both this kind of just generation. They are making a Good Burger 2 movie. So go check that out.
With Keenan and Kel?
With Keenan and Kel.
Oh boy. Okay. What was that? Like 1998? 1997?
Something like that.
Something like that? Wow.
Good move. Good movie, good show. I'm a lizard. He's a lizard. She's a lizard. You could be a lizard too now. What was I saying? Right. Thank you for joining us and all that stuff. Please don't forget to like on YouTube, follow on Twitch at twitch.tv/AmyNewmanSkeptic, or subscribe on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Mwah, mwah. Because then you gain access to that bell icon that when hit to all will give you reminders to see our premieres or join our live streams. And boo. I was reading it from the intro. I just realized. And I want to thank my co-host, James W., as well as the awesome people in chat, our awesome mods who make the stream so great, and of course, lovely viewers like you who make this channel even possible. This is the time when I was supposed to say the bell icon and the like and the subscribe and all that. But hey, you can also leave a comment once the video is done, or a super thanks. And we're just sending thanks to you right now. And after the show, the Skeptic and Ranting Discord server opens up, the link of which is in the description, but I'm also going to send it. Everyone likes hearing me click things. Hold on. Oh, nope. Oh, don't do it. Oh my God, we lost James. He got summoned to hell. But there is the joining the Discord. And does that link work? Let's just make sure. Discord at launch. Yes, it still works. It's a forever link. It should still, but welcome back, James.
We could just upload videos of you typing and people would watch it. Just
typing ASMR.
Like a 10-minute video of you clattering on the keyboard. People would watch it.
I think we got a future. Skeptic and Ranting Discord server, link of which is description below, along with our fantastic channel members who get not only our emojis, but our evolving badge system, which triggers creationists because we worship time. You just evolve into new badges.
That it did, Doorknob Head. And got there. That it did.
What am I looking at?
I came back from hell.
Yes, that's right. We share an apartment with Gilbert Godfrey. Yes, he was gonna get a pineapple shoved up his. So those appointments are, they're tight-lipped.
Last video we watched, the demons were. We saw them. They were all ganged around Satan there, and when they noticed me, they all charged me. But God sent an angel to pull me out at the last second.
Oh my God! Speaking of con artists, oh my God, that guy. It's also, once again, speaking of Hollywood, I just like how it's pulled out at the last second, just like Tom Cruise has to get everything at one. Oh my God, the bomb's about to go off. Oh my God, Tom, you're amazing. Anyway, channel members, the best way to help support us is by unlocking some unique perks and getting around all the rigmarole so that it helps support the channel can be found at patreon.com/Amy Newman. I am Amy Newman. This is James W. And we will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Boo. Don't mind the graphic. I still have to update it.